Playing preseason DFS, man, it can take years off your life. Especially when you're on top of the news and then you get coaches just literally flat out lying. We'll recap it here in a sec. But welcome, guys. My name is DK. In this video, we break down the 4-game preseason DFS slate on Thursday. Also cover content for NFL, daily fantasy sports, as well as for player props. The sponsor of today's video, that's going to be Parlay Play. You can use the code DKDFS or the link down below for a $100 deposit match bonus. But how it works is a player prop site. You're building out slips of player props. They have alternate lines as well. And these are all the sports that they have to offer. So my best advice is get on as many of these prop sites, DFS sites as possible. And then when you do want to place a bet on a player prop, you can see which one offers the best value. If you guys are looking for more in-depth content, you can check out my premium linked in the description. All my content is over on OddShopper now. For preseason, we're posting, we're doing live streams before lock, video, player poll, posting every single bit of news that we have from beat writers. Unfortunately, being on top of the news tonight was actually harmful, which again, we'll talk about in a second. It's just, oh man. Again, making me go a little crazy here. So let's get into it. Did not cash my lineup in DFS tonight because there were some trolls. So let's talk about those trolls, right? Okay, so here we go. Start with the Knicks. The New York Knicks. So the starters only played the first half in the first game, right? And my expectation before we got this quote was that you would see, one shift in the third quarter, right? And then we get this quote. Tom Thibodeau said he wants to slowly progress players being ready to play the normal minutes on opening night. The starters played 15 minutes in the first half. Look for that number. Unsure if they will see second half action, right? Unsure if they'll see second half action. Okay. So I'm thinking, they played 13 to 15 minutes, a lot of these starters. Maybe they play 18 minutes in the first half and then don't play in the second half, right? I'm like, all right. With that quote, we have some other teams with starters that were pretty confident on minutes. Okay, I think we can just kind of get off these Knicks, right? Keeping an eye on what's happening. And the next thing you know, man, I'm just, checking my phone periodically. The fourth quarter of the New York Knicks game. I'm wondering, maybe the third strings are in. I want to, just kind of check it out, see who's in. Look at my phone. Karl Anthony Towns is in the game. These starters are still in the game in the fourth quarter. We're going to slowly progress, and they may or may not play in the second. They're in the fourth quarter. What are we doing? Cat played 30 minutes. I mean, just incredible stuff, man. Incredible stuff. And I'm not even close to done either. Again, you guys missed the tilts. Well, here you're getting one right here before we get in the breakdown. How about this? How about this bad boy, right? Okay. Mark Dagnall said the plan for the regular rotation players is to play decent minutes tonight. They'll sit some guys out in tomorrow's preseason game, right? So, okay, I'm looking at that. I'm like, all right. Most starters played in the second half in the first game outside of Chet and Jalen Williams. They said they're going to sit guys in their next preseason game. My expectation here, I think any reasonable person would say, their main guys, they're going to get at least one shift in the second half, right? I'm like, all right, man. With this quote, I really like SGA. I really like Chet. I really like J-Dub, right? They're going to play decent minutes tonight. They're going to sit the next game. They're going to rest them in the next game. Okay. These are three of the best spin ups in the slate. Again, check my phone. Start of the second half for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the scrubs are in. Right? This is what I'm saying. If you were on top of the news tonight, you were punished for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason, right? And then this one, man. And this is what I'm talking about. Just flat out lies, right? Here we go. Warriors, okay, whatever. They're making a couple changes to the starting lineup. Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Jonathan Kuminga are starting again, but they're only playing in the first half. Only playing in the first half, right? Oh, man. Okay. Kuminga's, not a great play anymore with that news, right? He's only playing the first half. Once again, periodically check in, seeing what's going on in these games. And I see the second half. And I see Jonathan Kuminga right back out there to start the second half, right? Literally, in black and white here, Jonathan Kuminga only playing the first half. Just a flat out lie. You have just multiple lies tonight, right? Flat out lie here from Steve Kerr, who is the woke. You have Mark Dagnall, again, being a woke coach. And again, any reasonable person will read this and say, okay, they're playing, starters going to play at least one shift in the second half. They're going to rest the next game. Nope. Scrubs in. And then for the Knicks, again, we're going to slowly progress, the main guys. Nope. On the starters, a playoff rotation, right? The starters are in the fourth quarter. Cat plays 30 minutes. Incredible stuff. So, just had to get that tilt out of there, man. It's annoying, again, because preseason is very time-consuming, and you have to be on top of things. And I'm constantly updating, posting every single piece of news out there for premium members, and then we just get screwed by coaches just flat out lying here. So, there's your tilt if you guys missed it. All right, let's get into the video now. Pacers and Cavs first game here. The Pacers, we saw no Miles Turner, no Isaiah Jackson, no Furphy last game. We'll keep an eye on the news there to see if they are in. Starters only played the first half for the Pacers last game. They started James Wiseman in Miles Turner's spot. Again, everyone played 16 minutes. Some of the second unit guys played about 20 minutes, but it was pretty spread out. They played basically everyone on the roster. Now, usually, again, in the second preseason game, starters will play one shift in the second half. It's not a guarantee, and obviously we saw it with some teams tonight, but usually that's the case, right? So if both Miles Turner and Isaiah Jackson are out again, and James Wiseman start, then obviously I think James Wiseman's going to be one of the better values. I played Goga Batadze tonight. He was surprisingly low owned. He absolutely smashed, but unfortunately got screwed to some other with the Thunder, right? I played SGA, and I got screwed only half, so it's just annoying, man. But as far as the rest of the Pacers go, if we know for sure that they're playing into the second half, then yeah, obviously I'm going to have some interest in Halliburton, Siakam, right? That's where the offense is being run from. If you think that the starters only play the first half again, then like Jarris Walker would be someone I would have interest in. Good point per minute. Again, he saw 20 minutes last game. Benedict Mathurin saw 20 minutes. Don't get me started on Ben Shepherd. This is a guy that I was taking his props in the summer league, and he couldn't even cover. He was like airlines. Like I think his first game in the summer league, I want to say Ben Shepherd's like PRA was like 13.5 for a summer league game. Hammered it. It got bet up to like 21.5, and he didn't cover in the summer league. So don't get me started on that guy. Obi Toppin, another good point per minute player. He's interesting. Where's Toppin's price? 5.3. So those are probably all the guys I have some interest in, unless we get news that we're not expecting. Now, as far as the Cavs go, this one also tilted me. So the Cavs, the day before, they said that they're going to play everyone on the roster. So, very good chance the starters only played the starters are only going to play the first half. I took unders on the starters. The Cavs starters could not miss, and then they came out there for absolutely no reason and played in the second half as well. Another lie by a coach who did not play everyone on the roster because there was like 5 guys with the Cavs that didn't even play. So coaches the last couple of days have really been tilting me. Like there's no reason to lie in the preseason. You have no advantage. There's absolutely no reason to just flat out lie, but that's what we've been seeing, right? So Max Strus, not expecting him to play. But if the starters do play into the second half, then obviously like Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, Garland, all reasonable options. I think, Mitchell, Mobley factoring in salary, but probably be the 2 top options. Strus out. We'll see who starts. I mean, they can go to Okoro, they can go to LeVert. But honestly, not a ton else that really stands out here for the Cavs. Again, no one on the bench really saw a ton of minutes. They're pretty spread out. So, let's move on to Utah and Dallas. So Utah, we did see the starters play into the second half last game. Starters got decent minutes. 24 minutes for Laurie, 23 for Hendricks, 25 for Keontae. Surprisingly, 19 for Kessler, 18 for Colin Sexton. I would assume that the starters get same minutes, maybe even a little bit more. So that being said, I mean, I think Lauri Markkanen sub 7K looks like a really good option. Their top player, and again, definitely underpriced here. Keontae George, Walker Kessler, two young guys that I would expect good minutes from. I think both are good plays in the mid-range. Don't even hate, some of these veterans like Collins, Sexton, and Clarkson. They're both reasonable. They're all reasonable options. Again, some of the younger guys for the Jazz, you saw Hendricks, 23 minutes. He's fine. Cody Williams, 27 minutes. The only issue with Cody Williams is he's just not that productive. Bryce Sensabaugh, 20 minutes. Not a ton else there to have interesting for Utah. Now for Dallas, not expecting Luka to play. We got and PJ Washington, I believe, is going to be out too. So I saw from a beat writer, the expected starting lineup, I believe, was for tomorrow is going to be Hardy, Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, and I believe it was Gafford. It was either Gafford or Live, I forget. But that's what I saw what the projected starting lineup to be. Now, we haven't seen some of these guys. We haven't seen Kyrie yet. We haven't seen Klay Thompson yet. So if we don't get confirmation they're playing in the second half, there's a little bit more risk with guys like that of only playing a half, right? But I mean, Kyrie Irving with like the team to himself, if we know for sure he's playing in the second half, you better believe in some interest in Kyrie Irving. Klay Thompson, reasonable. Still like Hardy a lot, even with Klay and Kyrie back. You still expect big minutes from Hardy. Like Hardy last game played 34 minutes. So so I think Hardy's probably your top value on the slate still, even with Klay and Kyrie back. Both bigs are fine. Najee Marshall, assuming he starts again, I think is a reasonable play there, 4.6. Prosper saw good minutes off the bench. Don't know if he'll play as much, but he saw 31 minutes last game. He'd be another viable option. Gortman also saw 25 minutes. Another viable dart throw there. All right, 2 games left. We got Charlotte and Memphis. Charlotte dealing with some injuries here. Mark Williams, Grant Williams, Nick Smith, Cody Martin, Jeffries. Keep an eye on the status of those guys, see if they are available. But starters all got decent minutes last game. 20 minutes for Bridges, 21 for Richards, 25 for Miller, 23 for LaMelo. Only 6 minutes for Josh Green. I'm not sure if he got banged up or not. I would assume. I think he probably just got banged up. There's no other reason why he would only play 6 minutes there. But Saloon, their rookie, has actually played well. Back-to-back games, 25 minutes. Musa Diabate, former Clipper, being in a good run, 24 minutes. Trey Mann, about 20 minutes for the bench too. I think are all interesting options. But yeah, I mean, LaMelo 8-2, I think is one of your best plays in the slate, one of your safest plays. He's played in the second half of both games so far. This is their third game, so I would assume just the minutes continue to tick up. So really like LaMelo there. Bridges and Brandon Miller, I think, are very safe options as well. Again, they have both played in the second half of both games so far. Brandon Miller played him that last slate. He shot 2 of 97, and then no, that is not an over-exaggeration. He shot 2 of 97. Go ahead and check Brandon Miller's game log last game. It was 2 of 97. Nick Richards, if there's no Mark Williams, should continue to start. Reasonable value there. And then we mentioned some guys on the bench, right? Trey Mann will chuck. Saloon's played really well. Musa Diabate, 3-7. So I think the Hornets, one of my favorite teams to target right now. Memphis, so Ja Goat got banged up. Again, I played him last slate, got injured. Absolutely no one on this planet runs worse than me. You guys know that. But don't think he'll play in this game. Again, they said it's not serious, but he went to the locker room twice, so I don't think Ja will play. And if Ja doesn't play, I would assume that they just start Scottie Pippen Jr. for him. And if that's the case, I mean, Scottie Pippen's got to be one of the best plays of the slate, one of the best values, I should say, if he starts for John Morant. Scottie Pippen, good point per minute, 3.2K. So, yeah, if he starts, he'd be a great value there. If Ja's out, obviously, like Bane and Zach Edey and Marcus Smart look a little bit better. I like Brandon Clark for value, too. Basically, him and Edey kind of split the center position. You saw 18 minutes for Edey, 21 minutes for Brandon Clark, who is a good point per minute player. LaRavia saw 23 minutes. Like, he's viable. The rookie Jalen Wells saw 12 minutes, and then kind of just some of the scrubs got in there at the end. Finally here, Lakers and Bucks. So, for the Lakers, LeBron and AD did play, but they only played the first half, which is kind of what I was expecting. Now, this is game number 2, so there's a chance they could play in the second half, but not a guarantee. Both those guys are, getting up there in age. Obviously, LeBron, close to 40 now. AD's in his low 30s, low to mid 30s. So those are still two guys that, unless you get confirmation that they're playing in the second half, I would be a little bit cautious with. But On the other hand, they're going to be really productive when they're on the court, right? Because that's where the offense is running from, is LeBron and AD. So if we for sure know that they are playing in the second half, then they're going to be two of the better spot ups in the slate, in my opinion, but not a guarantee. And if they don't play in the second half, it's going to make some of the other starters look better. Reeves, D'Lo, Rui would be pretty sure that they would play in the second half. They have all played in the second half of both games so far. That would be Rui, that would be D'Lo, and that would be Reeves. And then, if LeBron and AD only play a half, then some of these other guys become a little bit more interesting. The rookie Dalton Connect, Max Christie's played good minutes back-to-back games. Hood Schifino could even be, viable there. So, Connect is 4-7, Christie's 4-2. Again, those guys will look better if we know for sure that LeBron and AD only are playing a half. And finally, the Bucks. So this is a team I think we got to proceed with caution. I don't think we're going to see Middleton or Gary Trent. But we did not see Giannis last game. He is going to play this game, but this is his first preseason game, so we'll see. Starters only played a half last game for the Bucks, and they really spread it out. They played everyone on the roster, which is not great for DFS purposes, right? So I'll say the same thing. If we know for sure that Giannis is playing in the second half, then yes, I like Giannis, but not a guarantee. With the two spot ups in Giannis and Dame, obviously I'm going to prefer Giannis. In the mid-range, I do think Bobby Portis is interesting, right? He's just going to be a good point per minute player. In 14 minutes, he went for 16 points, 1 board, 1 assist. But not a ton else that really stands out here for me for the Bucks, especially with the way that they ran their rotation last game. So I don't really think there's anyone else I would mention. Maybe Marshawn Beauchamp. How many minutes did Beauchamp play last game? Played 15. Not great. So, and not a ton else I think to mention here for the Bucks. It's gonna wrap up the video, guys. As always, if you do enjoy, just make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you all in the next video.